This edition of MacVoices is brought to you by Take Control Books, the answers you need now from leading experts. Learn more and download yours at takecontrolbooks.com. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the Talk of the Mac community. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, I get to welcome back an old friend. I haven't seen him in a couple years, actually. Schenkel of EuroSmartz. He's here to tell us about their new print and share. Ian, it's great to have you back on the show. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks very much for the opportunity, Chuck, and great to talk to you again.
Yeah, we didn't see you at this year's Macworld iWorld, but I believe it was the year before that we got a chance to meet and talk a little bit about another EuroSmartz product. That's
right. Yeah, it was a year ago, and we took you through the Write PDF product, which is going extremely well, and it's growing from strength to strength. So yeah, it's all looking really good.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great. Well, now you're back with something a little new this time for the iPad and iPhone, which is something that I think everybody that listens to this show or watches this show probably has, and that's print and share.
Yeah, I mean, print and share has been out for a few years, but we've just come out with a few new updates with it, and it's really sort of getting more and more enhanced, and a lot of the capability that we've built in the last few releases have meant that it's expanding out to a much greater utility that enables people to really to print to any printer. I'm sure all of your listeners and viewers are aware of AirPrint printers and how they all work and things like that. But there's still a lot of legacy stuff out there that people like to use and continue to utilize. And Print and Share is one of those apps that enables them to use that legacy equipment and not have to update to new stuff.
Well, obviously, I'm underinformed about print and share, so we got to catch up a little bit.
Sure, no problems.
Ian, what's always interesting to me, and I'm as guilty as the next person, as much as I try to go paperless, and I really try to, there's still that need to print. And now with the iPhone and iPad, it's great. They're great to take documents along with you, but sometimes you need to still need the paper copies.
Yeah, sure. I think, it's one of those things that, especially if you're going to meetings or, whatever creative sessions, things like that, having a hard copy of something you can actually sit down with someone, write comments on and things like that. I too, I'm trying to go paperless as well, even though obviously we make a print app. But, it's unless you're in a meeting that everyone has an iPad that you can kind of share the same documents with them and read through, then, printing is still very much, a part of everyday business life. And we kind of see that as continuing the way it is. Being able to mark up and edit documents, by hand and creatively is it's still something that people very much into and like to do, basically. So.
Yeah, if everybody could have an iPad and bring it to the meetings, it'd be a little easier to share those things. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So
no, not just yet. No, and I was in a few meetings last week, and one guy had a Surface, one guy had an iPad, another guy had an Android. It's this sort of as you say, if everyone had an iPad, that'd be great. But with all the different devices and different way the different devices read things, you kind of default to the old favorite of paper, and it seems to work pretty well. So.
You actually saw a Windows Surface in the wild, somebody using it?
I know, actually, you know what? I even made comment to that effect as well. I'm like, it's actually a friend of mine. And I said, you bought one of those? And he says, yeah, it's great. That's the thing. And I picked it up. It was like picking up a brick, basically. So it was quite interesting to sort of see someone actually using it in anger. It was quite funny, really. So, yeah.
I've only ever seen one Surface in the wild, and it was on an airplane. The guy sitting next to me was trying to open the Kindle app on the Surface, which made no sense. He could not get it open. He finally just closed it and put it in his bag and went to sleep.
Watch the movie, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's ask you to take us through print and share.
Sure, no problems. Yeah, I can give you a quick overview of it and just show you how to add in a printer and how it all works, and see what you think. So,
great.
Let me just share my screen so you can see it, and you'll be able to see exactly what we're going through.
That's perfect.
There we go. So we'll start with print and share, and so if I go ahead and launch the app, the first screen it brings you into is a files screen. So it enables you to see all of the files. You can store files either from cloud services or from locally from your computer or things like that. And if I wanted to go ahead and take a look at one of these files, all I do is just tap on it, it'll bring it up and then show me the screen as it sees there. I can sort of zoom in and zoom out and that sort of thing. So it gives you the full sort of viewing potential of looking through any of these files. It might be a PDF or a Word file, Excel. It doesn't really matter. We don't we don't have any sort of we don't have any issues with displaying any type of file. The other thing we can also look at is zip files. So I can tap on the zip file down here. It'll open that up and show me all of the files inside of that zip file, so I can then see exactly what we've got stored in there and that sort of thing. And the other great thing with it is I can then go ahead and if I wanted to zip up a couple of files, maybe I was going to email them or something like that, then I can just go ahead and select those, tap on the action bar up here and say zip files. I'm going to just call it archive for ease of use. And it will go ahead and zip those files for me on the fly as well. So it means you can kind of have a full file management solution that enables you to pick up files from different places. The other great thing as well is I've got my cloud services in here. I've only got OneDrive at the moment, but if I open up my documents in here, I can actually go ahead and I can select documents from here as well as documents I've got locally on my iPad, and zip them all together as well. So that works pretty well as well. So the main part of it is the file section. I also have email in here as well, and so I can go ahead and create a new email account. We have a wizard built in, as you can see here, and that allows me just to put in my username, my name, my email address and password, and that will then go ahead and create the email account for me, so I can see exactly what's going on, and I don't have to do anything like know all of my servers or details such as that. I can just put the details straight in, and it creates an account for me. I can also go to the manual setup in here if I do know all my credentials. And as you can see, we've got presets for a majority of all of the email services that people have. I've got choice of at the top here with either IMAP or POP. So if we haven't got the service listed and you know your details, you can add that. Now, the great thing with having the email built into print and share is that if people want to be able to print out emails or attachments or things like that, they can actually use print and share. But also equally, it becomes a sort of one-stop shop for looking after your files, printing files, email and that sort of thing. And it was through customer demand that we built in the email section to print and share as well. So now, one of the things we get asked a lot is around calendars. So the current native calendar app built into iOS doesn't enable you to print any calendars, nor does it allow you to PDF them. And we find a lot of people especially like to use the PDF or print section of it, so I can go, I can take a look at my week, look at my day, or I can go through and take a look at my month. And from here, I can easily tap on the print. And at the moment, I haven't got a printer set up. But what this does is this will look through my entire network, the Wi-Fi network that I'm on, and will list all of the printers that I've got available. And so all I then need to do is just select one of these printers, and it will go through a setup screen. So if I select my 6500, and as you can see here, it's got different options that I can tap on test. So I can go through the different options. So it optimizes the setup of the app to be able to ensure that I'm going to get the optimum sort of printing standard from this particular app. With these ones here, I actually know exactly which is best, so I can just tap on those, and it just gives me the setup. From there, I can then, as you can see, I've got my document as my month calendar at the top there. I'm printing it to the OfficeJet 6500, and then I've got various options down the bottom here. I can print a mini calendar, single page. I can have different keys in it and that sort of thing. So you've got a bunch of different options if you wish to print it. If I just go back to here, I can actually then go ahead and say I want to email it. Because we've got email built in, I can then go ahead and just email my calendar directly by just tapping on that email button from there. And then the final thing is, if I do want to just save it to PDF, all I need to do is just tap on the print there, and you can see that the top option here is convert to PDF. And then I can go ahead and preview that to see exactly what it's going to look like. Zoom in, and you can see there it's got my PDF all ready to go. And if I save that in my file section, so we tap on save, put it into my documents, click OK, and then I can go back into my files, and then we'll see my calendar in here, basically, so right there, as you can see. So it means you can quickly and easily PDF or email or print your calendar. And as I say, that's a feature that has been requested a lot, and mainly because the native calendar app doesn't allow you to print it or PDF or things like that. And as we were speaking earlier on, a lot of people want to try to stay paperless, but sometimes creating a copy or putting a copy on the fridge of what you're up to that week, or whether it's at home or the office or whatever, a lot of people like that feature basically. The other parts I've got as well is I can print web pages. Now the great thing with this is I can if I go into Safari and if I want to print a web page that's in Safari, all I need to do in Safari is just type in the beginning of the URL a Z, and then I can just hit go, and then that will open up and print and share. So if I have got a website that I'm viewing in Safari, all I need to do is put a Z in front of the HTTP, and that will open up and print and share. But again, I can just then go ahead and tap on print. I can either choose to convert it to PDF or one of my selected printers. And as you'll see, a lot of these printers here are not AirPrint enabled printers. They are simply everyday standard wireless printers that are on my network. And actually, I've also got one of my printers here that is a USB printer as well. I've got that plugged into an Airport Express, so that still shows as a wireless printer on Print and Share. I've also got my contacts, so I can group my contacts if I wish. I can go through and create and print images. Enable I can do multiple images at once if I wish, or I can just select a few and print those, print them out to photo quality paper. We have the selection of trays and things like that with the printers as well. So it gives you a fairly vast array of options that you can print it out. And then the final thing I've got is my clipboard archive. So I can go onto another app, copy some text, and then from there I can paste it into here. So if I go to Safari, for example, which I've got all the way back here. Oh, that's down here. We go. Sorry. Safari, and if I go into a new tab here and say we'll go to USA Today, and what I can do is grab a hold of the text off the front of this this story here. Say, I'll open that one up, and I can go ahead and select all of this. Copy that. And if I go back into Print and Share, it was almost slick, except I flipped up, Print and Share, and go into my, and it comes up immediately and says, do I wish to print the items from the clipboard? So I don't even need to go straight into the clipboard option. I can just go ahead and click print. But if I do go to clipboard, you can see there's the text here of that's come from the web archive. It also gives me a selection, the ability to select it just in text as well. So it will actually format it correctly the way it's copied, or just put the text in for you as well. So fairly universal sort of feature that means you can copy from other apps and paste them in here and print them from there, basically, or web pages as well. So that's kind of a quick look through Print and Share and all the features and how it all works and things like that, really.
This edition of MacVoices is brought to you by Take Control Books, the answers you need now from leading experts. The hits just keep on coming from Take Control Books. Josh Centers helps you get the most out of Apple's set-top box in Take Control of Apple TV. From setup to some of the more advanced capabilities, Josh walks you through each of the Apple TV's features, making sure you know how to do what you want to do and make the most of your viewing time. Stop channel surfing and watch the content you really want to watch with Take Control of Apple TV. Michael E. Cohen's latest effort is Take Control of Pages, and it's a bit different. Sold as a pre-book, You get a large first chapter and then subsequent chapters as Michael finishes them. This method achieves more flexibility in a title that seems to be constantly changing as pages for the Mac and iOS develop. Michael shares some of the essential tips on making sense of Page's rewrite and how to use it on both platforms. Joe Kissel has delivered a 1-2 punch with Take Control of Your Passwords and Take Control of 1Password. It seems that data breaches are an almost daily occurrence now, and password management is at the front line of security for your personal information. Joe takes a broad look at the subject in his Passwords book, and then gives you some tips on the most effective use of his and my favorite password manager. While Joe can't guarantee your security, he can certainly improve the odds. Those are just some of the most recent titles from Take Control Books. All are affordable alone, and many are more affordable with their bundle deals. Take Control Books are designed, written, and edited to get the most useful information in your hands in an understandable, approachable form that is both easy and fun to use. Visit Take Control Books right now to see all the great titles and learn something new about your favorite programs. Take Control Books, the answers you need now from leading experts. Thanks to Take Control Books for their support of MacVoices. Ian, this is pretty impressive. I think I started into this thinking that it was a lot more about the ability to print from your iPad and iPhone, and you've got a whole lot of capabilities built in here. A bunch of questions I want to ask, and I sure didn't want to interrupt you during the demo, but
Sure.
I'll try to take them in order. First, how do the files get into print and share? Because it looks like you're picking up the kind of the standard things from calendars and contacts. I'm guessing that you're using the usual what's the word I want? The built-in files for those apps, so that on the iPhone and iPad, just like you can use other utilities with calendar data. Is that that's what you're doing here?
Absolutely. So the calendar is just picking up the calendar that's already built into the iPhone or iPad. So you can when you first launch the app, it comes up and says Print and Share wishes to access your calendar. Do you wish to allow that? And if you click allow, then it will view your calendars. But you can actually go in and choose which calendars you would like to look at. So you can go ahead and just sort of say, I really want to look at certain calendars in the settings, or all of my calendars, or maybe I have a work calendar and a home calendar, and I want to look at the work one. So there's no configuration with that. And same with the contacts. You're absolutely right. The contacts will pick up the contacts that are already built into the device, so that it you don't have to do anything there. With the files, I've got two ways of adding the files. I can either tap on the plus here, and if I tap on import, we have various. We have a little agent you can install on your Mac or PC called WePrint, and then any files you choose to share in the shared folder, you'll be able to pick up. So if I pick up on my computer here, you can see I can go into this folder here, and it gives me my choice of files. And then all I simply do is just choose which ones I want, tap on import, and that will go ahead and import them in, as you can see, like that. So that's one way of doing it. The other way, of course, is I can tap on import, and I can come through, from my from any cloud service I have. So if I have, we have a huge number of cloud services. So if I go ahead and go on the cloud services here and tap on plus, you can see we have support for Dropbox, ShareFile, SugarSync, and many others as well. So there's sort of wide and varied the number of cloud services you can use. So you can also import from cloud services. However, one of the key things with Print and Share is that if you have a cloud service set up, you don't actually have to download a file to print it or to email it or anything like that. You can just go and access your cloud service from within Print and Share, check the document you wish to print, tap print, and that's it. You don't have to download it to the app or anything like that, or import it or anything. So you can print directly from the cloud without any trouble at all.
Go back to WePrint for just a second. Mm-hmm. So that is maintaining a live link, obviously when they're near each other, but that's maintaining a live link between your Mac and your iPad so that you can just choose documents and pull them in?
Yeah. It's a link. So the WePrint will you create it when both devices are on the same network, and you can password it as well if you wish. But yeah, it basically enables you to share the files. It also enables you to share, if you've got, for example, a Bluetooth printer that's on your Mac that you don't have on your network and things like that. WePrint will also enable you to share that printer. And the other feature it has as well with WePrint is that it will enable you to print remotely. So if you're on 3G or 4G, if you set up WePrint to be able to accept print jobs while you're out remotely, then you can print something from anywhere in the world, and it will print back to your printer, back at your office or your home. So it enables you to do that as well. So yeah, it's a very versatile utility, and it's a free download from our website. So once you have the app, you just download the WePrint utility, and it will give you all those extra features.
Okay, now to go to the printers. You said that you had printers plugged into, say, an Airport Express.
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm really old-fashioned and have just a printer plugged into my Mac directly via USB? And I think you just answered that. I can still share that printer as well as AirPrint or a Bluetooth-enabled printer.
That's correct, yeah. So as long as you install the WePrint app on your actual Mac or PC, and it works on either platform, then that will share any printers that you have already enabled on your Mac. You don't have to worry about drivers or anything like that. It just shares it out, and then all you do is just go ahead. So if I just show you here, I can tap on Files, tap on this file, tap on Print. And any printers that I've got shared, you can see the ones at the top here with a little purple printer icon on the left-hand side of them. That indicates they're being shared via my computer. And you can see here that basically it's the second one down, 1312 at my computer. So it shows that that's being shared via your computer, basically.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And also the email. I wanted to ask you about the email client. So, well, I don't know. Does Print and Share have its own email client built in, or are you reaching out and using mail on the iPad and iPhone?
Sure. No, it actually has its own email client built in. And it has various sort of features that enable you to do things. So one of the great features that a lot of people talk to us about with the email is you can actually save a document, because Print and Share's got the file section or the document section built in and the email. If I was to send you an email with an attachment on it, a Word file or something to that effect, and you think, well, I actually want to forward this on to somebody else, but I don't want them to see the email from me to you, you can actually save that document to the file section of Print and Share, create a new email, and then reattach that particular file to that brand new email. So it enables you to deal with files and documents from email. Another example of that is if I send you an attachment and somebody else sends you an attachment, and you want to send both those attachments in a single email to a third person, again, that becomes a very handy utility. And different things as well, as like, if I send it to you in a Word format and you wanted to send it to a third party in PDF, you can save the attachment from within the email built into Print and Share, PDF the file, and then resend it on to somebody else as a PDF rather than the raw Word file, if you like. So it kind of enables you to really deal with attachments very easily. Zip files particularly are a great one as well. If I sent you a zip file with 5 items in it, and you wanted to forward 4 of the 5 items in the zip file but can retain it as a zip file, you can just go ahead and save it in Print and Share under the file section, access it, delete one of the files out of that zip, and then resend that zip with only the 4 files in it to the third party, basically. So it really does. It kind of goes a lot further with attachments and that full file management piece, which is really the part of the uniqueness of Print and Share.
Okay, so let's say that I share a document over from my Mac through WePrint into Print and Share. Do I have the ability to open that document then with an app on my iPad or iPhone?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so you can go ahead. If I show you here, we basically if I want to open this particular document here, the cloud printer document, all I do is tap on the check it, and then you can see we've got open with that, and that will actually bring up the all of the apps that are eligible to be used with that particular file type. So anything that has a ability to open that app and view it, then it will be displayed in here. And you can also, as you can see, you can also airdrop it to anybody nearby as well, as long as they have their airdrop switched on. So,
Ian, I'm getting greedy, but I am going somewhere with this. So if I share it over with WePrint, open it in, say, a given utility, is that copy of the file, let's say then I go and modify it in that utility, is it saved back and accessible through AirPrint, or is it now moved over to the application?
It's moved over to the application. Unfortunately, the operating system doesn't allow us to retain the original document and then save it back. So each application is its own silo, which is the way that iOS is built. So it means that document then goes across to the utility that you're editing it in, and that will retain that copy. And then you can actually then open that back into print and share if you wish, and save it back there. But unfortunately, that's a restriction of the operating system. So we'd love it for, that would be great if we could share them across applications, but unfortunately, it's not possible. So.
Well, I sort of figured that, and where I was going is this just strikes me as you are a large part of the way there to a file management system that we've been all looking for. The OS prevents it from being exactly the way we would like it, because I'd love it if I could open it and then have it, back in print and share as my file manager. But man, you're a long way there as far as moving things over from the Mac easily, being able then to open them in whatever utility I wish to open them in.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's one of the key features we sort of see as print and share is it's a kind of almost a little mini operating system is the way we kind of look at it, because it's got so many different features in it, and sort of it's a hub for for accessing your cloud service. You don't need to go to a separate app. It's one of the key things that we tried to design with print and share was the ability to do a lot of things in one place rather than having to use multiple apps to email, PDF, to access cloud service and things like that. So it's that was kind of that sort of central mentality that we put into print and share. And one of the other key things that we've got, which we're really proud of, is the ability to drag and drop just like you do on your Mac. So if I grab a hold of this file here, which is the transfer file, I can actually drag that down onto that company info, and as you can see, it's dropped into that folder. So you can actually drag and drop and organize your files and folders that way as well, which is a kind of feature that people forget about on an iPad. You drag and drop, which is awesome on a Mac or a PC. So things like that.
You guys have been busy.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of work gone into this, and it's it's sort of keeps building. We keep adding features to it, but it's a really all round utility, and we got some great stuff coming out as well. We're starting to look now a bit more of the how the user interface is created, and one of the things we've built here as a fantastic utility, and we've kind of built the functionality first, and put it all in here, and now what we're starting to do is we're gonna go through a program in the next sort of 30 to 60 days, and just try and make it a little bit more usable and easy. I mean, it's very easy to use, as I was showing in the demo today, but just really making everything that little bit more refined and things like that. So that's kind of where we're heading with it. So we've still got lots to do, but we're very pleased with what we've got here, and the ability to print to all printers, but also to print various different documents, files, calendars, and PDFs is all built in. So.
Ian, I don't know. I guess I must have come to this discussion biased, because I was expecting a lot more of a focus on the printing part, and not to minimize that. But the sharing piece here to me is extremely useful and extremely kind of amazing to be built into this the way that it is, and give me all the function that you do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is the great thing with one of the key sort of mantras, I guess, we have within EuroSmartz is listening to users and what they want to do. And, print and share is it's kind of we kind of think of, we need a longer name, like print and share and PDF and email and do calendars and that sort of thing. But we can't, unfortunately, put that many names on there. But it's one of the key features we think with print and share is that it enables you really to have that one-stop shop and to be able to create and manage files and zip them and things like that. And it's a feature that we get a lot of feedback from our users on, and something that we're continually enhancing.
Yeah. So the specifics, obviously, it's available in the App Store. How much is it?
It's $7.99, and it's a universal app, so that runs on both iPhone and iPad. So it's not a separate app, so you don't have to download each one for each device. And we also have an idea of settings sync as well, which we're going to be putting into play. So you can actually go ahead and sync your settings between the two devices as well, so email and things like that. So if you've got it set up on one device, you don't have to then transfer all the details over to another device. You can just sync the settings of it, which is a great feature as well. So
Yeah, and we're seeing more and more apps adopt that kind of thing so that you don't have to constantly configure and reconfigure. You just set it one place, and if you're going to adjust it in another, it all syncs together. So
yeah, absolutely. And the other great thing we have as well is via iCloud. If you have documents on one device, that it will actually sync your documents between devices as well. So, and that's an option. I mean, if you want to do that you can go ahead and do that. But it means that you are constantly, it doesn't matter which device you look at, with your iPad or your iPhone, you have all the same documents on there. So you don't have to worry about, you left something on your iPad and you now need it on your iPhone type thing. So a lot of the sync features are fairly new and what we've come out with in the last few updates. But they're really, the feedback on those are absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, and again, it's just more. My phrase for it is everything, everywhere, all the time, and that's what I want. I want to be able to start work on my iPhone because I have a few minutes before an appointment, then go back to my iPad. Then when I get back to the office, go to my Mac and have everything I did, synced through, and just be ready to pick up wherever it was that I left off.
Absolutely, and that's one of the key things that we sort of have seen as well is that that whole not differentiating between devices. It's becoming more and more popular, and people do have multiple devices now. So we even have customers with multiple iPads, and that they want to sync everything between those devices as well. And that's the great thing with the pricing of print and share is that it's one app, one price. You buy it, you can put it on as many devices as you wish. As long as it's all the same account, then you're good to go, and then you can sync between all those devices. So,
for my money, that's a lot of value for $7.99. We all have these discussions about pricing in the App Store, and I'm kind of encouraged to see you and some others pricing these up just a little bit because they're no longer just the one-trick pony. They don't just do one thing. They do a lot of things. They add a lot of productivity power, and you deserve to be paid for it.
Yeah, thanks. And that's one of the key things that we are trying to get across. It's trying to get across the power of print and share and how much it actually does do. In a sort of a binary type way, which is the description we have on the App Store. That's a challenge sometimes because we kind of get lumped in with all of the other stuff, and no matter how much we list the features and set them out and things like that, until you actually see the app, you can't really appreciate just how much it really does do and how much it helps everyday business life. Really, so.
Well, hopefully this will get the word out a little bit more to a few more people and have them appreciate just what it can do. And I'm really glad that I got a chance to talk to you. Obviously, it's in the App Store. For the folks who want to learn more about it, the website for EuroSmartz is?
www.eurosmartz.com, and EuroSmartz is spelled EuroSmartz. So .com, yep. And there's actually, we've got some great videos on there about the apps and how they work and things like that. So you can kind of see exactly how it works before you buy it.
Great. Ian, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for being here and for showing off Print and Share. Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Chuck. It's great to be on the show.
We'll do it again.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices, the talk of the Mac community. That's EuroSmartz print and share. I hope you will go check it out because I'm kind of excited now to check it out myself. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for links, show notes, to subscribe, to connect with Chuck on Twitter, app.net, Google+, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, the MacVoices Dispatch, to stay up to date with all the latest MacVoices news from our front page or at MacVoices.com/newsletter. Advertising and sponsorships handled by Backbeat Media at BackbeatMedia.com.